Hey everybody, welcome back. I greatly appreciate you being here. Good morning. Well, it's morning while I'm doing this, so good day, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever it is in your part of the world while you're watching this. Thanks for joining me. I'm happy you're here. Today, I am going to practice once again my skills, or lack thereof, of making ephemera for a signature while videoing. I seem to get a mental block when I turn the camera on as far as working in spur of the moment. So this is going to be my practice for that, and I hope you'll join me. I am new to junk journaling. I am new to making all this stuff. I am new to videoing what I do, and I'm not comfortable publicly speaking. I am not comfortable thinking that I can teach you anything, so I don't consider this teaching you anything. I just hope you're along for the ride, and hopefully, my biggest hope is that if I can do it, I'm inspiring you to do it. I'm not coming up with anything new. Sometimes I find my own ways of doing things, but there are lots of teachers out there, lots of very good people who know what they're doing and have been doing it a lot longer than I have. I've been doing this under a year. I think it's probably now about 6 months. But of course, like most people, I had a slow start, wasn't sure what to do, and then I just jumped in and started doing it. So, I'm learning along the way. I'm learning what my aesthetic is and what I'm capable of doing, and trying to improve my skills. So an example of that is I made this signature a while back for a journal, and I had it with another signature, but it was a whole different theme, and I realized that I did not like the two mixed together. So I want to make a journal with this signature. So the theme mostly of this is red roses, red and white roses. This page here comes from a garden book, and I mean, if I could have this in my house, this scenario, I would probably never leave this spot in my house. But, you know, I have a husband who isn't about frilly things, though he deals with a lot of things with me. Yeah, there's a lot of things. So this page here and this page here are both from the same book, gardening book. It was a book about dried flowers, and if I can find this book again, and I'll have to dig the cover out, I'll put the name of it below in the description. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. But I absolutely love these pages. They're heavy. They're not magazines. That's something else I would like in my house. Thank you very much. Universe, if you're listening. Yeah, I'd be all about that. So anyway, back to the story. So what I'm trying to do is, just felt like something was crawling on my face. What I'm doing is I am emulating, copying this signature because there are several things in it I really like that I did. So I'm gonna copy this and do the same in this signature so that they go together well, and that they, you know, they're more cohesive with each other. So, some of these things I just added because my way of making signatures has changed. This was already in there. I had already stenciled on the tracing paper. I added this sheet from a pad of paper I have that has several different colors and patterns of these papers in it. This was already in there, and I really like it. And a lot of what I'm using is either Calico Collage or Graphics Fairy. Those are the two places I found a lot of red and white flowers. And it's not all roses. Some of them are poppies. This is new for me. This is a tea-stained coffee filter, and I stenciled on it. I just started using coffee filters in my journals, and I just like the feel of them, and I like how soft they are. This is a page that I put together on PowerPoint from Graphics Fairy, different details, and I was experimenting. I feel like it's okay to put in the journal. I'll probably cover this white up. Some of the elements are missing because when I do it in PowerPoint and then save it to a JPEG, which is how I want to print it off, I haven't tried printing it from PowerPoint. I guess I should try and do that first. But anyway, first I want all my graphics together, so I made it a JPEG, and when I make these things, I'm sorry, when I make these into a JPEG from a PowerPoint, they're bigger, so they don't fit on the page like they do in the PowerPoint. So I'm still working on that. Someday I may learn to do digitals. I don't know, but I had some fun putting these together. I like them. This is the masking paper you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's. This was already in here. This was not. So I did this. I took this doily and I just used some red ink and made doily marks on it. This was in here. This is Tim Holtz tissue paper that I really like. It comes on a roll. That's the only problem with it, is it comes on a roll. It'd be nice if it were 8.5 by 11 sheets, but it doesn't come that way, and it probably cost a lot more that way. So I like that. And this was already in here. This little glassine bag was already in here. There's nothing really on those pages. This was already in here, and I like the way I did that. This was a glassine bag that I couldn't get open after I tea stained it, so I just made it a pocket in other ways. So those are already in there. I learned my lesson not to tea stain glassine bags without putting something in between them, because they're harder than heck to get open. This is the other side of that paper. This is a envelope that I made out of one of these sheets, and I backed it with a book page, and I put a I don't remember if I got this out of a paper pack or if I printed this off, because I made the signature a while ago, and some of these things I print off. Some of them are free prints from Pinterest. Yeah, so I can't ever remember if I print them off way ahead of time, but we're going to work on this envelope today. This is a glassine bag I was able to get open, and I used some of the paper pack that I'm using to make a journaling card, and then a little 3x5 card. I love using the spray paints. Hold on, let me get it so I know what it is. It's a Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. That's what I used on these. And so I used that I just spray 3.5x5 cards, and sometimes I glue 2 together to make them stiffer, to make a better journaling card, because they can be pretty flimsy nowadays. And so what we're going to do is, I don't know if it'll all fit in this video because I'm talking a lot, but anyway, I'm going to make the white paper not so white, and this was already in here. So yeah, and then this is the cover that I decorated. I'm not loving the white daisies with the rest of these flowers, so I don't know, I may ink those or spray them or something. I don't know yet, but anywho's, I have evolved a little bit from when I made this signature, but I'm going to work on making this ephemera for this signature. I am going to work on that on camera. So I am already almost 10 minutes in. So let's get rocking and rolling. So in order to make this envelope, I am going to take this one out, and I am going to need to, obviously this was cut down so it would fit. And I need to decide if I want to have this trellis in here, which I really like, because I have this, which I'm using as a background on some of the white backs of the pages. I do need to get, I don't know if I'm going to cover that with a book page or not. I don't think I will. I know it makes it a little stiffer, but this is pretty good paper to begin with. So this is, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this one a little different. So I can never figure this out. Do I want that to be, see, this is where thinking comes in, and I don't think well on camera. So I don't, yeah, that's the entire page, and I like that size. So I think if I do it that way, yeah, I'll have to do it this way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it here. So, and then I'm going to fold the flap over, but not right up. I've learned that I don't fold the flap right to the edge, this edge here. If I do that, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work well. So I leave myself some space, fold the flap. And if I didn't want it to say potpourri right here, I could put whatever I want there. Now this is obviously very large, and it would pretty much, I could cut the edges off and it would fit into a signature like that. I don't think I want it that large. This size is good. So I think I am going to fold these in about an inch. And I'm not going to fold it all the way up to the flap, I don't think, at this point. And let's see if I can get this one about an inch. And get it straight. For me, that's the secret if you've watched any of my other videos. Okay, so if I wanted this, so what I'm going to do, well, actually, what I'm going to do is I am going to fold it up to the flap because I am going to cut, let's hope I don't mess this up, otherwise this will become a really small piece in this. So I'm cutting on the fold line, but I'm only cutting down, and I did not cut straight. Where are my big scissors? I'm always afraid of cutting too much, and then I don't cut it on the fold, I cut it crooked. Okay, and what I'm going to do is cut this off, and you'll see why in a second here. And I know you're all watching, so I'm shaking. Look at that. Isn't that terrible? Get over yourself, Martha. Nobody cares. I moved my trash can. Now I can't find it. Uh-oh. Crash. That was just my paper cutter. All right, and we're going to cut from the flap down to the part of the envelope that's going to fold up and make the pocket, okay? So that's what we're doing. I'm a terrible teacher. I don't ever want to, I don't know. I don't want to be held responsible for teaching. So what I'm going to do is now when I glue those flaps down, I'm going to have a larger pocket in this envelope. I did use my corner rounder, which I didn't pull out. This one is a really large corner rounder, and I really like it for larger items. It's the one that I used on this one. So, I don't need to turn that over. I need to turn this over. So, we'll corner around that one. And I have a terrible tendency of not lining them up, which is why I did that. So what I'm going to do is on this one, I'm going to sort of cut from the fold to the edge at an angle, because that way it'll be a little nicer on the inside. Okay, I'm happy with that, and I'm okay that this is the inside showing. It's kind of pretty, so I'm good with that. I don't know that I may decorate this, but I may not. I kind of like that it says that. I'm okay with that. So now glue. Because it's shiny paper, I'm going to use a combination, and I should have filled both of my glues. The art glitter glue is about half. I mean, the Fabri-Tac is about half full, so that should get me through. But the art glitter glue is almost empty, so I should have filled that. So I'm going to do this edge, and I'm not going to do it too, maybe. Heard slow as molasses. That's this glue. I just put a very thin coat on the edge because I don't want it to get inside and end up sealing my envelope shut. And then I'll do this side. This edge very carefully, not too much. I don't want it to goober over. And then I'm also going to, I have found that if I use a combination of these two glues, things stick a whole lot better. I don't know why one alone won't stick well enough, but I've had trouble with just using one or the other when it's a hard to stick surface like this shiny paper, which I could sand it, but I'm too lazy. So don't wanna sand it. All right. And what I do, I hate when I get glue everywhere. What I do is I go in with my bone folder and I gently press that down and make sure it's not sticking the layers of the envelope together. And then that the glue is sealing. Because I will show you in a moment. And the art glitter glue dries really fast. It seals really fast. See, I'm still having some issues with it sealing. Sorry, if I'm concentrating, I can't seem to talk. So just want to make sure I don't close my envelope shut. I mean, like, glue it shut. Okay, so I'll show you. When I took this one out to show you, it's separating on one side. So I'm going to use a combination again. I know I didn't use a combination because when I made this, I hadn't figured that out yet, and there's no flap in this one either. So that means you're putting stress on it every time you put something in and out of it, or take something in and out of it. And I don't want anybody that might get this journal to have any trouble with it. I would feel awful if somebody liked the journal and then got it and didn't, then had trouble with stuff falling apart inside of it. So And this side seemed to hold up better. I don't know why. But, you know, and this wasn't on shiny paper either. This was on the book page that I lined the paper with. I lined this book page with this book page. Let me clarify. So there we go. Hopefully this will dry solid. And if not, I always go back and check when the signatures are all done and I feel like it's a done journal. I always go back and check everything. There. So now we have a nice big pocket there, and I really like that. I could punch a little thing here, but, you know, then it wouldn't look as much like an envelope, I don't think. So I really like that, and that's it. Very easy, and I won't glue this in because I just love this too much. I think it should show. So there's the envelope that's going to go in. I can't see that far away. I don't know why I try. So I went to the eye doctor. So this is going in this one because that's where I had it. And then I have to find something. Oh, and now it's too, see, now I glued it to secure it, and now this is too wide for it. But this would fit in this one, I betcha. Yeah. So that'll fit in that one, but it's kind of sinking down inside. So I think I'll make something bigger for this one and find something to go in this one out of my already made ephemera box or pre-purchased ephemera. Let's see. Not like I don't have enough stuff. So I have these that I pre-stamped. These aren't tall enough. This one might be tall enough, but that's a recipe card. I don't want to use a recipe card. Nope, not going to use that. Maybe not. All right, let's see. I've got this box. This has all sorts of pre-made ephemera in it. Well, there may be something I'll have to make then. Let's see. I bought this off of Etsy when I just started out, and I don't remember who I bought it from. Sorry. I don't think that would work. It's too big. And see, this is where I get hung up. I feel guilty, like, doing this on camera, looking for something to stick in my envelopes now. I could try these. Let's try these. I think, let's see, that's going to be too wide too. Yeah, because I glued it. Well, that'll fit that way, but it won't fit top to bottom. That'll be too wide. All right, well, that's not working either. That fits in there. I'll probably make something for them, and that may not be in this video. I like things to stick out enough so you don't have to go hunting for them inside the envelopes, so I'll work on that another time. I could always cut the edge off of this and re-ink it and stick it in that one, but I'll have to fill both of those. So, anyway, we will put this back. I don't remember what page it was on now. I'll stick it in the center here. So that's the one that I made previously. And this is the one I made this time. So I'll attach that to the center page, and I have to make something to go in there. Get the red paper clip. As long as I don't drop it in my tea, we're all good, right? And I'll probably do something to decorate the paper clips as well. I like to decorate my paper clips. Alter them. Time for a sip of tea. And keep those creative juices flowing. Okay, so let me show you when I have a really white piece of paper like this. Let me show you my favorite thing to do. Now, especially because this has to do with like roses and flowers and so forth. So what I do is I take this stencil and I lay it down here, and I try not to be too fussy about being too exact. I take my tea dye distress ink and my new dauber, and I will put a link to the Etsy shop, and you have to have a convo with Shell, send her a private convo, and she will discuss with you the price and everything. And her husband Clint makes these gorgeous, gorgeous dauber handles out of aspen wood, and they are absolutely the most beautiful. I coveted these. The first time I saw one was on Nick the Booksmith, and I tried to get her to share with me where she got it from, but I never got an answer back. Either she's so busy because she's so famous that she didn't see my question, or she just didn't have time to get back to me, or she didn't see the question, period, you know? So there's, and the reason I like to use this kind of stencil is it sort of looks like the trellis. It's kind of the reverse of the trellis because the white ends up being the trellis part, but the shadow that the ink makes, and I don't do it like all over 100%, I just do it here and there. So it's very faint, but I really like it. And I apologize for the light today. It's very cloudy out, and I want to line this up a little if I can see, which I can't. Goodness gracious, Martha. I really can't see it all where I did this already. All right, I'm going to, I hope my head didn't get in there. I'm going to do a little more because it's a little faint and a little missing in action here. There. I like that it's different shades when I do it. Different depths of color. Ow. just daubered my thumb. That hurt. Okay, maybe a little more up here. If I can line it up. It's so faint I can barely see it to line it up, so. There. See, I like the different depths of color in it. And then I always have little pieces of foam or pieces, I don't know if it's pieces of foam from this, from using it on the stencil, because stencils are really rough on these foam things. But anyway, there's my background. And then I use this stencil with the flowers on it with a little bit of red, and I make it look like a garden trellis by putting the flowers on it. And I just want to do this ever so lightly because this red is really dark. But I wanted red and not pink. Isn't that pretty? I really like doing it that way. Sometimes I just do this one flower. And then if you reuse the dauber, the ink on it is fainter and fainter, and you get fainter images, which I really like. Okay, and I think I've shown this before in other videos, so I'm sorry if you've seen it and you're bored. But I want to do some of these on camera and practice. So I hope you haven't shut me off yet. Saw a video the other day that somebody posted on one of the Facebook pages and I can't remember her name. I'll try and link it below. But they say that people like me with very few followers, see how it's not so glaringly white anymore? People with very few followers, I only have 142 followers at this time. Very happy and grateful for every one of you, but I only have 142. And people with few followers, if you shut the video off before it's finished, YouTube says that basically you weren't interested in what I'm producing here. And if that happens and somebody's looking for how to put together a junk journal signature or whatever I end up titling this video as, mine won't come up at the head of the listing. And so then you lose even more followers because you're not, you know, people don't want to watch you. So that's a little depressing to think about. It doesn't make me happy, that's for sure. It's a little depressing. But you know what? I have decided that I am not going to worry about it. If the universe believes that I should have more followers, I believe the universe will bring them to me in good time. And if I am meant to be successful at this journey of mine, it'll happen. And I just keep good thoughts, and my intention is to help inspire other beginners that, like I said before, if I can do it, you can do it. And if people can listen to my voice and my accent and my pronunciation of words, my inflection that I'm trying to work on changing, and stuff like that, then I think just about anybody could do this. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there, and that's the scary part. Putting yourself out there is definitely scary. I have a hard enough time doing that in person, but out to the public, you know, on video is just even more scary for me. There, I like that. That one came out almost better. As far as the trellis. And then I'm just going to see what ink is on here. Let's see what kind of... Very, very faint. That's okay. I don't want... Oop, that's going to be dark. Uh-oh. That's going to be darker. That's okay too. I need a bigger flower stencil, I think. Because I don't really like the way it cuts off. These two big flowers are both cut off. There's no big flower, whole entire big flower on here. And it sort of cuts off to a square edge, and I don't love that about it. Tim, you listening? Oh, I'm sure he's watching me. Not. This is a Tim Holtz stencil, and I'm sure there's probably a bigger one out there. I just haven't seen it. So, yeah. Okay. One more. I just gotta have something a little darker up here. There. That makes me happy. Okay. So, I have that. And it doesn't take any time at all, which is what I love about this. Let's see, what's next? Okay. All right, let's do, so I have this pocket already out. By the way, this is the cover. I love this cover. I printed, these are two graphic fairy images that I printed on fabric onto muslin, and I have another video that it doesn't show me using the printer, but it tells about how I did it. And then I put this muslin on another piece of muslin, which I adhered to this to a file folder, and then I had to check and make sure. Yes, it's adhered to a file folder. And then this is some from the paper pack that I'm using for this journal. So it's very sturdy. But it's flexible, and over time this would become more flexible. And then I put this lace on it because it looks like a curtain and like you're looking through a window. And then put a little, these are ribbon roses that you get on a roll from Hobby Lobby. And I just love this cover. So I have a file folder here of things that I gathered, and I did do this pocket the other day. I did do this pocket the other day, and I'll show you. So let me move this. I don't know if you've seen this before. I got a lot of folding tips, pockets, papers, corner stuff, all kinds of things from a person on YouTube, and her name is Terry Wood, and I will try and link that below as well. And this is a real fun fold that I really like. So here's your piece of paper, and you fold it in half lengthwise, and then you fold it into almost into thirds. You don't want, like, if you can see, there's an edge showing there. It's not overlapping. You don't want to fold this one or this one, whichever way you want it to open. You don't want to fold them right up to the fold. You want them backed off just a little bit, like that. You want a little space there. And then you open it back up. You fold your corners in, and what you're doing is you're folding this corner in to meet this fold, not this fold, because then it'll overlap this area and it won't fold right. So you want to fold this corner in to meet this fold, and you do that on all four corners. So it meets this fold here, but it does not meet this fold here. Okay, so you do that, and you press them down, and then you fold it in half again, and you fold these over, and you fold either left into right or right into left, whichever way it works best. And I put a little tiny half circle up there. And then, so this one, you open it up, and I put a little decorative piece of paper there. You open it up, you can journal, you can put photographs, you can put whatever you want in here. Or you can keep it closed and keep it as a pocket. And what I did with this one is I glued it down on the two sides and the bottom. And so you have a pocket in the back. And you have a pocket here. So when you open it up, this is sitting there. Your journal card is sitting there. So I hope that makes sense to you. So I made one the other, well, I had several of these made up, but I stenciled it, so you don't have to suffer with that. This one, I think I'm going to put up near the top, because then when you open it, you have a better chance of writing on more of the surface. I did learn that. Because as you saw when I opened the other one, it flips down here, and then you don't have as much opportunity to write on it without it becoming difficult on the surface. So I'm going to glue around the two sides and the bottom of this. And you can also paper clip this onto a page, and when you paper clip it, it can be taken off, and you can literally write on both sides of it if you want to. You could write on the front and the back, which I probably should have shown how that would work, but I didn't. But I can show you with another one. I got that a little more inside the edge than I wanted. And then whatever tag you put in here, over a little more than I wanted towards the center, whatever tag you put in here, the little tab can stick out the top if you want it to. So there. Now when you open this, you sort of have more opportunity for a writing surface. There you go. And I did prepare a little tag with a tab on it, I think. I thought. Did I take it out and set it aside? No. Must have been the other one I was thinking of. Okay, so we use this. Oh no! Some of my things just went flying. Alright, so I'm going to use this because these fit in there very nice. Again, pretty sure this is Graphics Fairy, but you might not want to quote me on that. And I found this, I have satin ribbon, but I have velvet ribbon in my stash. That's what I used yesterday. I could have swore I made one of these yesterday. I could have sworn. I'm going to check one more time. I have had the hardest time finding things this morning. I looked all over for a book page that I swore I took out yesterday. I knew I took it out. Distinctly remembered taking it out. Well, I don't see it. Yep. The memory is going quickly. It's not one of the things I dropped. So, oh well. Okay. So we're gonna, all I do is, I don't want to cover up that butterfly. So I'm going to put this side down here. And, boy, that's not straight at all. Straight. What is straight? I don't know, because I'm not able to do that. And this side, the golfers are out. They're trying to beat the rain. It's going to rain today. Mostly it's supposed to rain later, but it's very cloudy. So I have my blinds wide open, which I never get to do because the sun is usually beating in here. And it makes it too bright and glary. So there we go. I have two, well, I have an OT light and I have another light. They're both daylight bulbs. But strangely enough, the OT light puts a huge glare on my mat and my magazine stuff. The other light doesn't do that. And I'd like to find another one of these lights, but I got it on Aldi, and I think they get things in once and then they never get them again. That kind of thing. So, here. Now I could put another tag behind it if I want to in that pocket where it's glued down. I'm just not going to do that right now because you saw me do this. So let me see where I am. 43 minutes. So I have 15 minutes. So we can make another pocket, or we could, you don't need to see me stencil. I'll probably stencil very lightly on here with the flower stencil again. This is one I did yesterday. I think I put the wrong. Anyway, I don't like the red background with the red flowers. I think it's too much. I don't know if I'll redo that one or not. This is that same page that I printed out, but I shrunk it down more so you can see the elements on the edges here. So maybe one day I'll get good at digitals and have those in my Etsy shop, but not today. I'm still working on it, but I had fun making it. Let me see. I have to look. I'm looking through here, but I have to look in this one to compare. So let's start back at the beginning. Okay, so we did that. That pocket is there, right? Oh, see, this is the one I glued the ribbon on yesterday. That's why I'm remembering that I did that. Yeah, okay, Martha. And I haven't stenciled this. I'll go back and do that. Not bore you with that part. And that's that page. See the two pages? I don't know if you can see both of these. Those are the two pages. This is the tea stain background. This is the red background. So, you know, a little different. All depends on what you like, but I'm going to leave this in here. hopefully it won't deter anybody from buying it. So this pocket here, I need to see if I have in my box of ready-made stuff. And I try and sit in front of TV and make these things ahead of time. I could do one of these. Or I could do another book page pocket. Let's see what I've got in here. Let's see. That's interesting. Not sure what that was supposed to be. I have all these, but I don't think these are going to go with my red theme. Nope. Not thrilled with any of those. And now, of course, I can't find the bag they came out of. There it is. So I keep a shoebox, and I found this method to be really helpful when I want to find something. Ooh. I might have to use this pocket. This came out of another book, and I really like it. That's going to have to come out. There's red flowers, but it's poppies. Might have to use that. That might be too pink. That's definitely pink. I kind of wanted to go with another book page one, since that one is book page in the one. But I don't know where my book page pockets are. I know I made a bunch of them. Oh, I'm hopeless some days. I really am. Let's see. I think this is the book page pockets. So this one, my friend Junie Desiree, she made this and sent it to me when I ordered something from her. I made these out of Franken pages the other day. But that's not really what I'm looking for. That's purple. That's purple. I like purple, can you tell? That's pink. That's sort of red. But that's not really the same book page. This is the same book page pocket, but smaller. That is as well. There they are. Those are the larger ones. And more purple. Surprise, surprise. Okay. Well, let's see what we come up with here. I'll use one of those. And I don't love the book page pockets. Yeah, that's got blue in it, so we're not using that one. That'll go back in the bag. So it'll be one of these. That might be a good size. This one's really huge. I don't need one that big, I don't think, but I could use this one. All right, we'll use that one. I'm going to use that one for now. I'm going to put these in my folder because I like them and I want to hold them aside. Now I have some little cutouts on the book page to help cut that whole book page look. And the other thing I'm going to do is, that's not the right one. Uh-oh. I'm looking for my coffee ink. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. I put it away. I don't think I used coffee on this, and this is a little, this is when I was using vintage photo, and I don't necessarily love vintage photo a whole lot. It has a yellow, let me see if this darkens it up any. It has a yellow tinge to it, a greenish yellow tinge that I'm not that fond of. So I will just sort of grunge it up differently with some coffee archival ink. There we go. The coffee can be a little, have a little tinge to it too, sort of, kind of. All right, get the folder out. And it really helps to have stuff collected ahead of time for what you might want to put on there. Like, these would look really nice. just so you can print them out. Those would be too big. Yep, it's going to have to be these because that's the only small thing I have left. Just so you can, if you print them out ahead of time, of course, if you cut them out ahead of time, that's even better. But I didn't want to, you know, I have a problem with little bits falling all over the place. Oh, that'll fit perfectly. I know I'm getting short on time, so I'm trying to hurry now. I have found that the shorter the video, less time it takes to upload, and that's always fun. And I can only fit one video on my iPad at a time because of storage space. So there's that. I don't really need to ink these because they have a dark edge, and I think there's more than enough ink on. I think it goes this way. Seems like that's the right orientation. I know it's the same photo, but maybe I could mirror image them. Yeah, I don't know. Might look weird, but that's what I want to do. And I do what I want to do. I think that's kind of the point of this. I always say, I had someone tell me a long time ago, and again more recently, that if you do it and you love it, eventually somebody will come along that also likes it. So I see that I also used a little bit of red on this, just to kind of blend it, give it some cohesion with the red theme. So I'll just do a touch of red here and there, here and there, there and here. There. Okay. Not that there isn't enough red on here, especially with this page right here. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that, but I feel like this edge is a little flimsy. So I'm going to, oh boy. I have this, I don't know if that's too much pink. I feel like it is. I'll figure that out. I'm going to put, actually, I used this exact tape on this one for the same reason. So I'm going to put some washi on here and sort of help support this edge. Because if you use single book pages, that's what happens. Another lesson learned. I will probably always double my book pages from now on to use them with for pockets, because they can be flimsy, especially if you use older book pages, or even, you know, it just depends on the paper the book page is made out of. If it's like Reader's Digest, I have to double them. So it's just something you learn along the way. Let's see if I can, without taking all the glue off of this thing and sticking it on the wrong part. Oh, Martha, really? My eyes are so bad. I think I started to say I went to the eye doctor and, oh, gosh darn it. The part I needed to support isn't even supported. Okay. So I'm going to do it again and make it longer. I have to have cataract surgery. And I'm not, I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that old. A lot of people I know don't get it until their upper 60s or 70s. And I'm 63 in May. And I can't, like, things just aren't, everything's got this white cloud over it. I've been told they aren't that bad, but I do so much with my eyes. Like I do a lot of close-up work every day doing this. Oh, come on. And then you know, I'm on my iPad watching videos to get more inspiration from other people. All right. I sort of overshot it there. And since I want to use the back for a tag, like a pocket, there. All right, so we are going to take this out because I'm almost out of time. 54 minutes. Oy, oy, oy. What a rush. And I am going to put a nice, healthy wad of glue on this. Sorry, I have to hold things close so I can see clearly. And it used to be all I had to do was turn on some more bright lights. But now even the bright lights create more of a cloud. So it's sort of frustrating. So I get that done in July because we have some other things going on in June. We have a little RV, a little Class B RV. Well, it's not that little. It's a big van, a very tall van. It's a Ram ProMaster Winnebago Travato. But a Ram ProMaster base to it, and Winnebago upgrades it into a van, into a RV. And so, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the other one. So, the air conditioner, my husband still works for a living because, you know, somebody has to support me doing this. Because this is not supporting myself. So, there's the two pockets. Now all I have to do is put some journaling cards in there, which I'll work on off camera. Or maybe that'll be the next video. We're getting the air conditioner switched out is where I was going with that. And that's in Ohio in the beginning of June. So I'm looking forward to that because this air conditioner is made in Australia. Hello, my Australian friends, if there are any out there. I appreciate you guys making this quiet air conditioner because it's going to change everything. My husband will be able to work better. We'll be able to go out when it's hotter and enjoy things. And if we're stuck in the van because of rain or heat and humidity, which I don't handle well physically because of some health issues, we will be able to stay inside and he will be able to work and make phone calls. And I will be able to think because the air conditioner we have now is like a gazillion decibels loud. And it even scares the dogs. They don't even like staying in the van when it's on. And if we take them someplace and we have to leave them in the van, because we go in to eat or we go to visit something, they don't like staying in it with the air conditioner being so loud. Don't you love that sound? I love it. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I'll be back. We'll continue this signature and putting the stuff in it so that I can practice doing this on video. And I appreciate you very much for being here. And hopefully you stuck it out with me. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see something more or something different, please leave a comment below. If you liked it, you hated it, leave a comment below. I don't get a lot of comments. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. So please help me. Please help me grow my channel and be better, improve, and help me along. I would really appreciate it. So thank you, and I'll be back. Happy crafting, everybody. Take care. Have yourself a great day, and craft on, people. Bye-bye.